Okay, so here's a video on navigating through Brightspace, just so you can get a little bit of an idea of how to access everything for your course. First off, this first screen should just be your announcements. So these are my most recent announcements here. If you do X them out, they will go away from being right on your screen. But if you ever need to go ahead and view an announcement that was previous, because I do put a lot of information in the announcements, some videos, some help things, you can click View All Announcements and you'll get to see all of the announcements that have been posted. Now to access the course itself, you're going to go to the course menu. And from here, I would go to Learning Modules first. Okay. One of the great things about this feature is the course schedule is one of the things that I really like. So the course schedule actually tells you what is due. So for right now, tomorrow, you have your assignments due for Module 1. This is the actual module. It gives you a little bit of a thing here, a little, blurb on what it is. We have a few things here. Module 1 web page for descriptive statistics and decision-making tools. This gives you the learning objectives. It also gives you an introductory video that is about 9 minutes long. And if you want to go ahead and read through that, there's a transcript available. Okay, now this also kind of will tell you where to focus in your text. So if you see it says textbook, statistics, informed decisions using data, these are the sections that we're actually focusing on in this module. So it would be a good thing to read through 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 3.1, 3.2, and 6.1, as that's where the problems for this module are coming from. Okay, so I'm just going to go back here for a second. Okay, next you also have your module overview, which is pretty similar. This is just the video, I believe, and the transcript of that video. So this is just a nice little read through that gives you a summary instead of reading the entire text, if that were maybe driving you a little crazy. It's a good thing to read to kind of get an idea of exactly what the module is about. Then you have your discussion. Now, to reach your discussion, you don't want to actually go through this link here. This will just bring you basically to oh, you can go through this link. Before it didn't bring you there. So see, this is good that I'm kind of doing this as I go, because they've made some new additions to Brightspace. So you can click on that and it'll take you right to the discussion where you can start a new thread, or you can reply to one of your peers' posts here. Okay, back to Module 1. We also have the StatCrunch and orientation activity. So this is just going to be telling you what to do, and I'll show you how to access StatCrunch in a second. This one is an ungraded activity. It's just an orientation activity. And then the graded assignment for my math lab is the 1-3 assignment. And if you click here, again, it's not going to tell you exactly where to find this, so I'll show you that, where to find it, but it just shows you what is there. Now again, it says see instructor tips in my stat lab for video solutions. I'm not sure if they've been loaded into my stat lab yet. They weren't last term, so I've put those in the discussion board for you to access if you would like. Okay, so that is basically Module 1 and all of the links here. And that's where you would access all the information for Module 1. Then you'll have all your other modules here that you'll be able to click through as you go through the course. Now to access your My Stat Lab, you'll notice I have two. I have the My Stat Lab and I have My Stat Lab Instructor Tools. You'll just have My Stat Lab. So you'll click there, and then the easiest way to access your assignment is just to click My Math Lab All Assignments, and it will pop up in a new window. So let's just give it a second here. It might just take a sec to load. And as you can see, it's already released the StatCrunch orientation activity, your Module 1 problem set, and the Module 2 problem set has just become available as well. Okay, so that would be, you just click on that. So if I'm going to complete my Module 1 problem set, I can go through and complete my questions. Now, some great features for the My Stat Lab. One of them is the question help, right? So we have a Help Me Solve This, which it will actually take you through the problem step by step. Now, if you do this, it's not going to give you complete credit on the problem. So it'll go through this with you. You'll get the final answer. And then the best thing to do once you go through the answer, this little check answer will turn into the words similar problem. And so if you use the Help Me Solve This, after you finish it and you've tried it once with the computer, you can click similar problem and do it yourself and get full credit. Another thing you can do is view an example. This doesn't take any credit off, so it will actually take you through an example of the problem that you can read, and often the same sort of problems are also included in the text. One thing that doesn't do in the Help Me Solve This and the View an Example is it doesn't tell you how to perform things in StatCrunch. So I'll show you where I've put those StatCrunch videos in the discussion board. The other thing you can do is sometimes there's a video available for problems, so you could click on video, and sometimes it will take you through an example, or he'll help you a little bit, right? So there's that option for this problem. You can also click textbook, and I think this is great. It's only available for some of the problems, but it will take you to exactly where the information is in the e-text. And if you're not sure where to access your e-text, I'll show you that as well. So it brings me right to chapter 2, where I can find some information. And another great one, StatCrunch. So if I do want to put this in StatCrunch, I can click on that, and it will open StatCrunch for me. And again, I'll show you where those videos are to help you learn how to use that. And the last one that I really really like is the Ask My Instructor. So if you're super stuck on a problem, you really don't understand how to do it, or you have a particular question, if you click Ask My Instructor, it's going to email me right away, and you can enter your question here. Okay? And that's basically my stat lab. Now you can jump around if you'd like. You don't have to do all the questions in order. You can also go back at any time throughout the course. Only 10% is deducted from the problems that are completed after the due date. So it's a great idea if you're having any trouble in any particular problem set that you can go back and improve your grade. Okay, so that's my stat lab. Now, to access your book directly from Brightspace, so I'm back here, again, you can go to course menu, go to learning modules, it'll bring you right over here. When I click on my stat lab, if you go down to the bottom, right, you have two options. You have the Pearson eText, and you have the HTML ebook. I know people have preferred different ones. The eText is just going to open this in another browser, whereas the ebook, I think, is more like a PDF sort of deal. I just usually use the eText. Let's see here. Let me see if they've loaded those videos into the multimedia library. I'm not sure if they have or not. Let's see, chapter 2. Let's try section 1.1. Let's just click select all. Now it looks like they have at least a PowerPoint here, and they have a few examples loaded in. So this is pretty nice that they actually go through some examples. So if you can feel free to look at those. If you just click on any one, it'll actually bring up a video for you. You just got to click the play button. Okay. So there's lots there that you can do. The PowerPoints are sometimes helpful as well. That way you can kind of click through and get a nice little overview of the material. So let's see if mine will come up here. It may or may not load. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to my other one here. Okay, so let me just go back. What we have here, next thing I want to take a look at is your discussions. Okay, so the discussion threads, of course, are where you're going to go ahead and do your weekly discussions, but you can also access the general questions if you're having any one particular problem that you think would benefit the whole class, and if you haven't already introduced yourself and getting started, that's the place you want to do it. In general questions is where I've put your videos, so the instructor tip videos for Module 1, as well as StatCrunch help videos. The StatCrunch help videos are made by a friend of mine, Mike Elms, who so nicely shared them with us, and they're all in YouTube format, so they're super easy to look at, and he goes through examples right in StatCrunch through the My Stat Lab modules to show you how to use your StatCrunch. Let's see here. Then, again, I'm not sure where they've put these instructor tip videos yet in My Stat Lab. It doesn't seem like they've loaded them. Just make sure that you have Flash enabled. It took me a few times to be able to view these videos. If you have more trouble, then I would definitely suggest contacting the help desk, and they can certainly help you out. I know that Safari does not work well for me with Brightspace and with Flash, so I end up having to use Chrome. But if you click on these, it will bring you to those instructor help videos that are made by Pearson. Okay, let's see what else here. The last thing, assignments, when this is actually loaded, this is where your journal submissions will be. Journal extra credits haven't been loaded into Brightspace yet. I think they've had some sort of problem, but hopefully the help desk will have that fixed fairly soon. And I think that is pretty much it. So that's how to navigate Brightspace. I'm not sure if there's anything else that you might need. One other good thing here in the Start Here place is that you have all of your things for the course, like your syllabus, the coursework overview, all your MyLab information, all your guidelines and rubrics. Turnitin, which is a great thing. And what I really love here is the Smart Thinking Online Tutoring. That's free to you, and you can access it at any time and get help with your coursework if you need it. Okay, so let me know if you need any more help navigating, but I think that I pretty much went through everything. Have a good night.